All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hajime no Ippo, Season 2, Episode 16.
Takamura.
He's been properly drained, but not in the way he would like. You know what I'm saying?
Your vengeance was sweet. Maybe a little bit too sweet, because what have you wrought upon Takamura? If he ever finds out...
boy.
Yeah, exactly.
My beautiful boy.
Right.
He's just like, you know, like, I don't know if I'll be able to fight.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Takamura, you're going to have to dig deep, my friend.
Into your shit.
Like, yep. And
to pull out that cockroach and...
that non-existent imaginary cockroach.
And make it, like, just chase your opponent down and, you're going to have to pull one out here, because this is...
You get up there and eat that horse.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Takamura, this is not going to be easy. And if you're going to face Hawk, you need to win this here.
Yeah.
So
and ideally not take too much damage.
Right.
Either.
Exactly. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this now. Now for a while.
Karamitsuki.
Takamura has the scars and he is weak like that again, you know? Yep. Yeah.
Yep. Just imagine, like, Aoki at the end of this match is like so ashamed of what he did. He's like, I shouldn't have gone there, Takamura. Like, if Takamura ever finds out, Aoki's just dead. They won't find his body.
Oh, here we are. This poor boy. Ay.
I know this is serious, but at the same time...
The two Hawks!
Oh.
Well. Griffith is showing up? No. He's gonna have to, like, channel, like, his inner barbarian and, like...
Yeah.
He's gonna have to, like, pain himself into, like, action. Whoa!
Okay, he's going fast at the very least.
But he's being really obvious, though. What? He's just trying to end this as fast as possible, I guess.
Right.
Oh. Whoa. All right. Whoa.
Right.
Nice!
Just in case we forgot that he's not just strong, he's also really good in general.
He's an expert, yeah. Oh. He's like, I took that like it was nothing. This is gonna be a Date kind of thing where he's like, your punches are weak. Oh crap!
Does he just not have the strength to punch him properly?
Yep. Wow. Yikes. Yeah. Oh.
How are you gonna do this though?
So what's the most sensitive part of the body?
The balls. But that's probably
that he can punch. What is that face? Did you see that face?
I know you want to.
Yeah.
Or is this all part of the plan?
No, talking about
trying to get him to go into something he can counter.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Now he's getting angry.
Right.
Oh, jeez. He's
swinging wide.
He is getting, yeah. Oh, he's gonna catch it in the chin. All right, that's it. He just punched himself out, basically. Yeah, he's now exhausted. Yep.
What is Kamigawa gonna tell him?
Yeah. Yeah, crap.
I don't see a way that Takamura can beat this other than either getting him to go for something that he can counter or just deciding to get stronger.
Oh, he looks a little better, though. You see that? He looked a little bit...
Yeah, he looks a little bit better.
Aoki is praying.
Yeah,
just right. This is like if a JoJo protagonist was drunk trying to punch someone out. It's like, it's just not gonna work, buddy.
Aoki's holding on to desperate hope. He's like, I don't want to have ended his whole career just now, like, when I did that.
Oh no, are we gonna start montaging this?
God.
Yeah, we are.
Oh God.
Okay. Hey, well, the fact that he's actually, like...
lasting?
You know, lasting... Maybe he'll just win on points, you know?
If he won on points...
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh my God.
And the whole joke of it was that it's like, haha, I'm gonna get the opportunity to hit this guy and it'll be fine.
No, bear, not boar.
Oh, yeah, Takamura.
Oh.
Oh! Wake up! Wake up, buddy!
Yeah, you can't afford to be messing around here.
Oh, that was some... that was some quick movement there. Jeez! But he can't respond in time, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, his body's too slow.
Oh no! Oh no!
Wait, what if he wins by Aoki saying, I put it in that sandwich and...
Oh! Oh crap!
Yeah, this is not good.
Across probably right now.
But like, what if Aoki told him and it made him so pissed?
Okay. Oh, a counter!
Alright!
A counter!
Alright!
Yeah, but Takamura took one too.
Crap.
Oh my God. Oh.
Come on, Aoki, say it, instill the rage in him that will lead him to victory.
Clinching, yes.
Clinching, oh my God.
That's just smart.
Yeah, but...
Oh, he's halfway.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Is Hawk watching?
Oh, no way. No way. No. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, man. What? Wow. That's what's gonna be his inspiration.
It'll be his ego and his pride that this guy's looking at him being with that smug smirk on his face.
Babes and stuff as well.
Yeah.
He's gonna get penalized though. Oh. Look! Duck, dude! He needs to pull an Aoki at this point and like do a really janky ass move, you know?
Oh my god.
Now the crowd's cheering for him. They're like, oh my god, he's the underdog here. Yeah.
The gold necklace and everything.
Ew, gross. Oh, your guard was too weak. Takamura! Yeah, get angry. Get angry, buddy. Yeah. Oh, he's got the green eyes, right? Over the leg. Come on. Oh, an exchange. Yeah. They both took that hit. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I think he rattled his jaw or something because I think that was an uppercut, like a right upper. Yeah. Oh, and now they're just going for it. Oh boy. Yes, this track. Yes. Let's go. All right. It's like Titans, like smashing, like yeah, storm of punches. Oh.
And I love that the punches aren't rapid.
Right.
You know?
They're deliberate and slow. And at the last second, they explode out with speed. Oh, why are you here, man?
Because I'm bored. No.
Oh, blood. Is he down?
I think he did.
Yeah! Yeah! If this is what we're getting in the prelim fight,
I know.
Imagine what we'll get with Hawk, dude. He's pushing him back towards Hawk so he can get a better view.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, you see this? What? What? He's pushing him into his...
Out of the... Holy shit!
Oh my god! Yeah, it's over. Yeah. He nearly killed him! Jesus!
And that's... starved and everything as he is.
Oh, he's like nearly out. Oh, yeah. Nice. That condescending slow clap, you know.
Yeah, the medal. Yeah, the belt. Yeah. Medal. Wow. So cool.
Nice. Yeah, he's exhausted.
That's true.
He's hungry in multiple senses of the word right now, you know?
No. Not at all.
Oh, who let this chump in here?
どうやら客が来たようだからよ。ブライアン・ホーク。ホークだ。
I gotta say, he casts a pretty good posture.
Yeah.
まずは高村選手と握手がしたいと。
Nice.
高村
Okay.
選手の勇敢さと破壊力に敬意を表したい。それと付け加えて、今日のファイトは彼の本当の姿ではないだろうから。
Oh, a backhanded compliment.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Watch, there's gonna be the other shoe's gonna drop it after they shake hands.
I hope he doesn't like grab his hand and hurt him or something.
来日の目的は日本に大好物があると。それを食べに来たのだと。
高村さんの試合の偵察が目的じゃなかったのか。
刺身でよかったら釣り船屋がいるからご馳走してやるぞ。
No,
No.
that's not what he's talking about.
No problem.
Oh,
つまり
he's gonna eat you
大
up.
好物は東洋の女だと。
Oh.
特に日本人は美味しいと。
Kind of figured as much.
Yeah, but that's just...
さあ、握手だよ、高村。
Wow.
握手をしようじゃないか。
He does speak some Japanese. Okay. All right.
All right.
Well, this bitch's got to go down. Like,
But man, that was a
down.
tense bit there.
That was. Whew. Ay.
All right.
Made love. They wake up, we close our eyes. The birds wake up, we close our eyes. I love when she calls my name inside her dream. Kisses me, still half asleep. Don't I wish that we could stay like this at 8 a.m. Set the alarm to watch her sleep and think I'd do anything if I could make this time rewind forever to 7:59. Oh man, Bryan Hawk. Nice.
Yep.
So Takamura
Hawks
was the
indeed.
other Hawk in that he was kind of the representative of Japan in this case here. And what I really, really liked about this episode was that Takamura's win was one that brought upon him a lot of punishment, but it was, yes, a good way to build up how much better the fight will be when he's recovered and at 100%.
Right.
Or just at a higher percent of capacity when he faces Bryan Hawk.
One of the things I was kind of really curious to see how they would do with this fight, because in the previous episode, I very much got the impression that it was both a comical thing and a serious thing, right? And I wasn't exactly sure where the balance between those two was.
Yeah.
And in this episode, I feel like, you know, it became a lot more clear, and it took on a lot more of a serious nature and style and feel for it.
Yeah.
But then the question that I had, if, you know, it was to be taken seriously, was how will Takamura win in a way that feels satisfying, given the fact that we know that he has to win, right?
Kinda, yeah.
Because, you know, he's fighting Hawk in the OP, right? You know, so that has to happen.
Yeah, we have to see Bryan Hawk versus Takamura.
Right, we have to see that. So the fact that it was something where, yes, in the end, he still did kind of just get stronger, you know, because he had to win. But it worked. But it worked, right, in my mind, because it wasn't just something, he wasn't technically getting stronger, but it was that absolutely everything in him was mentally brought to bear and emotionally. Right. Because he knew he did have to win this. Yeah. And that guy was sitting there looking all smug and everything. Yeah. And damn it, Takamura wasn't going to let him smirk and look down at him like that.
Every other Ippo fight has, a lot of other fights in this show have delved into this thing of when the eyes go green, they tap into their resolve and resolve to win. it is something that we've seen quite a bit.
Exactly.
But if it's something that just happens for one of the boxers, well, then that boxer is going to win because they're going past their limits. They're putting everything on the line there. They don't care about the pain anymore. They get into the mode of just, I must win. So they overcome everything, and it's wonderful. It's exciting. And then usually it's in the presentation of how they win that is more the catharsis rather than whether or not this character was going to win.
Exactly.
Unless we're talking about something where it's, you know, Sendo versus Ippo, and it's a very definitive, like,
they're both going great eyes and
everything into it. So in this case, having Bryan Hawk being here is just so perfect to tap into the ego of Takamura.
Because like even though we hadn't really seen anything of Bryan Hawk in the previous episode, but we'd heard things and stuff.
He had quite the ego built up.
He had quite the ego, which okay, Hawk versus Hawk. I love that. I love that that's a thing. But it really, in my mind, it was ego versus ego, right?
Sure.
Because Takamura's biggest weakness has been his ego, right? And that's something that this guy has in spades. So them fighting, that's poetic, right?
Right. And it's also one of Takamura's greatest strengths.
Yes,
that he has this ego that he can tap into, get angry, and just rage on.
So the fact that the egos being brought close to each other was what caused this fight to end up being resolved is perfect, right? Because it is his also one of his greatest strengths, you know, in addition to just being massive, really freaking strong, you know.
Right, but we're talking about his person.
Right,
because
exactly.
in terms of actually what these characters bring to the table, we know way more about Takamura than we know about Bryan Hawk. So the fight basically got hijacked to be a Bryan Hawk buildup in addition to being a Takamura versus Bryan Hawk buildup.
Right.
So I think it was a very clever way of acknowledging, this fight doesn't really matter. It's in some ways a reversal on the way some of Ippo's fights have been in the past, where Ippo was too focused on a future fight and didn't give the fight that he was doing at that given time enough focus, and then he would end up getting distracted, starting off slow, finishing strong. But a lot of times it would be something where he almost lost, like,
and using the comedic angle, which also still ties to his ego if you go back far enough, with the whole situation with Takamura and his perviness and whatnot.
Sure.
Right? That kind of indirectly got him into this situation, right? That where then Aoki did the whole, you know, the revenge on him with the bug and everything, which caused it, which messed up his weight management and all that stuff.
Right.
So and by having it be something that's funny, we don't think too much of it because it's funny, right? We love to see it. It's great, right? And then how is Takamura going to get out of this one? And then it serves to be this wonderful kind of like training weights kind of a thing, where when we already know he's going to win this fight, but we're more wanting to see how he's going to win this fight. Not only does he win the fight despite having all these things that make it harder for him to win the fight, but he wins it in one of the most spectacular ways possible, where
throwing his opponent into the feet of
out
his
of the
eventual
ring.
Opponent in the front of the ring. It's so perfect.
Yes,
it's so fun.
It's mythic practically.
It is.
Like it's because, you know, before Ippo, I didn't really care about boxing, you know,
not really,
and
me either.
I would know of all of these, you know, these matches that, like, you know, between people that people would get super stoked about, right? But I didn't really care about them, you know,
right?
And but it would be this thing where it was so much more than just the match. It was everything around it. It was the personalities of the fighters and the, you know, and like, everyone would just get swept up in it if they were fans of, you know, say boxing, right?
Right.
And this, we are seeing that, right? And it's actually happening in the show in this way that seems too outlandish for, you know, like,
it's momentous events, like it's little events that build to this legendary momentous event,
right,
in which two titans clash, and thus the storms of punches that we saw in the exchanges at the end of this match here between West and Takamura feel like probably nothing in what it'll be in comparison to the next one, because we got montaged through this fight.
We did,
in some ways deservedly so, because Takamura, his struggle in the last few episodes has been a mental one regarding his paranoia of the the thing that was found in his passings. So maybe this bit is going to help him forget. He'll just have moved on, just because he's so now tunnel visioned and focused on Hawk, and because he is that strong, he's not being punished for that tunnel vision. In that respect, I feel like this is something that Takamura might not learn necessarily his lesson here, because he can double down on his thing that is both the flip side a strength, by the flip side a strength and a weakness. His ego here, and go, yeah, absolutely. I'll totally ham up everything. I'm going to get really into this. And the interviews,
forgot his luggage.
That whole thing was intentional, because it was. I think that this is also another thing that's from a perspective of someone that doesn't necessarily get that invested into sports, particularly. I do play a couple sports recreationally, but with specifically Takamura having this much skill and talent all wrapped up in his ego as well, it is something where every once in a while I'll get the vibe of like, oh, but I wish on some level he got to like have a moment where his ego didn't match up to his skill and talent. And that was kind of the first half of this match, in that it was, hey, you screwed up your weight routine and stuff because you were freaking out about the thing that Aoki did, and ended up having some issues there. But still, when it comes down to it, he can grit his teeth and just push through to tomorrow, basically.
Right, and that's one of the things that makes him be such a legend, right? In the show, right?
True.
Where we are absolutely cheering him on, and when it seems like he's going to falter, Aoki, knowing his part that he played in this, is like, oh God, oh please, just, come on, you gotta win, right? It's like, which, God, I loved so much.
That was so great to see them constantly go back to the peanut gallery and hearing their commentary, and yet I couldn't really care less about the commentary. I was just looking at Aoki. I know what's going through your head, buddy. We all know what's going through your head, and that's just some fun attention to detail. What do you think about Hawk in his actual kind of cartoonishly evil, disgusting, lecherous villain? And having the gaudy outfit with like the white, blue, and magenta pants,
and the gold chain and everything, and like
the shades that have like an auburn tint to them, and he wears them inside, his bleached hair and his obviously like fake tan that he's got on, like he is a character. Holy crap.
Ego out to
I can't wait for this guy to be pulverized. I want to see a pulpy, messy face at the end of this fight. Well, I don't really care what happens to Takamura, because I know he's going to take some punishment. But I just hope that this guy gets like everything swollen. I don't want him to be recognizable by the end of the match. Like I'd like him to sweat out the bleach in his hair. I want him to just like every punch that hits that what was the Dempsey roll? Like any punch that could reach that level of the Dempsey roll effect, but for Takamura, I'm just gonna be like, oh yes, it's gonna be so good.
It's this crazy thing where because he is totally being set up in a way where, because there's so many qualities about him that are unlikable, it absolutely is building up the catharsis for when
he's beaten.
He gets beaten.
Or he just takes a lot of punishment.
Or he just takes a lot of punishment, but
he doesn't have to lose.
Right. The reverse of the catharsis is that if he wins, it'll be like, no.
Yeah. Especially since we already know that there's been some dirty stuff that's been done from his corner. because we know it's probably not him doing it.
Right.
It's probably his manager because that's just the kind of thing that they
strategy.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah. Right. So and yet it's like it's that, and a lot of the times if that were to be like Ippo as a show doesn't do that very often. True. And I'm glad that they don't, right? Yeah. Because it can work when you do it, right? And it is very much working here. But done too much, it ends up being something where then I don't as much care about it, because if I don't believe the ego that's being brought to the table and everything from the other character, then I'm not as excited for, the main character that I'm familiar with to beat them, right?
Right.
But man, it works here.
Oh,
because this is a worse version of Takamura, right? This is
in terms of personality,
right? In terms of personality,
but he's very similar,
right? It's because in the same way that Takamura's ego is a strength and a weakness, it is for Hawk as well, right?
Right.
Bragging about the fact that he only had to train 9 days for the one defending match or whatever, right? That's insane, right?
Right.
And the fact that he actually did that meant that he knew that he could do it.
Right. Which means he has a reason to actually brag.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not puffing himself up on hot air. There is something to back it up.
Yeah. And yet when you look at him from the outside, it's like, oh God, I really hope Takamura doesn't turn into that, right?
Yeah,
That's why we want Takamura to have that point where the ego fails him, right? In some way, shape, or form, because we don't want him to end up there, because we love him, even though he definitely has issues now, we want him to work on those issues, not get destroyed for his issues, right?
We don't need him to become Ricardo Martinez. We don't need him to become that.
Right.
But in some ways, he might want to look towards those types of boxers where they play a clean on-off switch where they're just like, now I'm going to win.
Right.
And there's no ego involved in it. Well,
maybe a little bit.
No, I think
taking
ego is
personal
important.
Pride in the fact that you do that very well.
I think there's a difference between ego and self-destructive tendencies. And I think that Takamura has a healthy or an unhealthy balance, if you will, of both.
Right. It's like he's the equivalent of like a functioning alcoholic in my mind, right? Where it hasn't
ruined his life.
It hasn't ruined his life yet. It could,
right?
But it hasn't yet, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, he hasn't been forced to actually deal with it, right?
Right. Yeah, not that much, really. And I think that if we see him as the one who's coming into this with that fire and that hunger, then the ego is something important that he taps into pretty consistently, because like we had mentioned in previous parts of Ippo, you need to embody what it means to be a champion. You need to take on the mantle of that and really own it. Because if you don't, and you keep treating this like something where, I'm just being nice and, I want to show you respect and stuff like that. Nope. No. You're trying to kill the other person.
Right. You sing that karaoke song for 10 hours and dance and stomp like crazy. And scream your heart out until you come in here frothing at the mouth and ready to tear them to pieces.
Yes, exactly.
But you need to have an off switch for that as well.
Right. That's where Ricardo has mastered his body and his mind and all that.
Exactly. Yep.
But oh boy. I can't wait to see two ego monsters just slug it out.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
That's going to be beautiful.
It is going to be so wonderful.
Do you think we'll get much transition between this and December? Or do you think it's going to be rather quick?
I think the fight could start at the end of the next episode.
Okay. I could see them doing more build-up with Bryan Hawk so that we introduce his manager and get to see their dynamic a little bit.
Yes, that would be great. Maybe like,
because this is a world title match.
Yeah,
I feel like they need a
big deal.
I feel like they need a little bit more build up than usual.
Right. Even though it's not for Ippo,
right.
I feel like
that's okay.
That's okay because 1, this is a world title match. 2, we haven't really really gotten to see an important match for Takamura.
Yeah, they've been small.
They've been small because Takamura's Takamura. He dominates his opposition, right? He really does. Like, that's how it works. Yep. So the fact that we're actually getting this here, all the bells and whistles, roll out the red carpet, you know.
Right, and then they have a previous fight getting completely hijacked. Where the poor West guy from the Philippines or wherever he was from, I think it was the Philippines, he just got completely upstaged. Right. Not only did he end up losing a match that he probably should have won, should is a weird word, but he was really close to winning. No one's going to be talking about him.
Nope. Just the fact that some other guy showed up made it so that it was like, all right.
Yeah, now the whole talk of it is going to be, oh my God, the fight that's coming up here. Yeah. Did you see how West got thrown at the feet of freaking Bryan Hawk when then him and Takamura had their little exchange and stuff? Yeah. That's going to be what people are talking about. And I just feel bad for the guy because he fought really clean, but then he did end up, I think, like playing maybe a little bit too safe, maybe.
Well, he ended up, I think, getting a bit cocky because he ended up saying, "I don't have to worry about counters anymore."
Oh, true. Even though they weren't really counters, they were more just exchanges. Because he wasn't avoiding his punches.
Yeah, and like, if not for the fact that Takamura was just like, all right, I'm, you know, right? This is happening. If not for that, he would have won there, right? Because
that's true.
Takamura,
that is true.
Takamura did not have the stamina.
Nope. So, great fight. Wonderful conclusion to the episode.
Wonderful build up.
Bryan Hawk, you nasty, bleached, freaking bastard.
Like one of the things that I really love about how this whole thing happened with Hawk is that sometimes when these types of characters are introduced, it will actually pull me out of the story because I see it as sort of like putting on like too thickly a potentially good thing, right, for a character, right? It breaks the immersion. It takes me out of it. I can't buy it. But every time he licked his lips and everything, no, that didn't feel like something that the creator was doing just to be like, oh yeah, this is a real bad guy.
Like, no, this is realistic.
No, this is what Hawk does just to say, yeah, that's the kind of guy I am.
Oh,
you don't like it?
Oh, right.
You want to do something about that?
Sure.
Really? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know,
I can see that. It's
the you know, like man spreading, taking up 2 seats on the subway, like, you know, I don't care, you know. Like,
I want to throw out the idea here, actually, that the mangaka who knows their stuff regarding boxing and all that has literally seen people and maybe even met people like this. So it's something where to us we go, ugh. But to him, he's like, oh no, this is common. Like this is actually like, he's like, you should see the egos on these world champions.
Yeah,
well, that's maybe the point, was that he wanted to bring up the difference between Ricardo Martinez and Bryan Hawk, because he's like, these two types of people absolutely exist, but the one thing that they probably have in common is when they step into the ring, they all look exactly like the same when they just turn on the animal and they go monstrous and they kick your ass. Like they absolutely obliterate you.
There was something like, I remember I was listening to some people talk about Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah.
And it was the idea of like, okay, you have the fame, right? And since boxing is a, you know, shortest lifespan career-wise, you know, for the sports and everything, you're having all this fame and glory and all that stuff when you're young, right? Which in and of itself, that'll definitely not go to your head or anything. And then on top of that, you are physically overpowering people in a societally approved way, right? So it's not just that you're famous, I am the most powerful man on the planet within the lightweight category. You feel like a god, right? Yeah. So, you know, anything you do, that's fine because I'm a god, right? Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I can't wait to see some some gods clashing. So
Yeah.
y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us and the community there about this show, about anime in general, and you can also talk with Jacob about the sci-fi novel that he wrote.
That's right. I wrote a sci-fi novel, in case you somehow haven't heard by now. It's called Battle Lines. It's really cool. It's on Amazon. If you're interested in checking it out, the link is in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.